Chosen one. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven has summoned you in this exact moment, in this exact breath, because you are standing at the edge of a supernatural financial breakthrough. The Spirit of God has pulled you out of the noise and into this divine appointment to warn you, to guide you, and to position you for the wealth transfer prepared for the anointed ones. What you are about to hear is not information, it is revelation. For the Lord says in Isaiah 43:19, I am doing a new thing. Chosen one, open your spirit. Heaven is speaking. Chosen one. There are moments in life when heaven interrupts you so clearly that your spirit cannot pretend it didn't feel the shift. This is one of those moments. You are not being delayed. You are being divinely restrained, shielded, redirected, and preserved for a path that carries far more weight than you realize. I have lived through seasons where every open door looked like an answer to prayer, only for God to shut them in ways that felt abrupt and confusing. I did not understand then, but I know now those closures were rescues. Those disruptions were protection. What felt like loss was actually mercy. And in this very hour, Anointed One Heaven is extending that same mercy over you. You may feel tension, hesitation, or an inner pause that you cannot explain, but that is the Holy Spirit whispering that something ahead is not what it appears to be. Anointed One, discern this with clarity. The enemy rarely places traps in darkness. He decorates them with familiarity, comfort, opportunity, and emotional appeal. I have walked into situations that sparkled like gold, only to discover rust beneath the shine. I have trusted people whose words were sweet, but whose motives were hollow. And each time I learned that deception always arrives dressed as something desirable. That is why your spirit has been unsettled. That is why you cannot fully step into something that looks so convenient. Heaven is interfering because you are approaching a moment of supernatural alignment, especially in the area of finances, purpose, and destiny. The enemy crafted a counterfeit to intercept what heaven is preparing to release. But God will not allow you to settle for an imitation when the authentic blessing is almost at your doorstep. Chosen one, let me speak plainly from experience. When God is preparing you for a divine elevation, He becomes extremely protective of your steps. There were seasons where I prayed for opportunities that would have elevated my income, my influence, or my connections, and yet everything fell apart. Only later did I discover truth that would have broken me if God had allowed me to move forward. Like you, I mistook delay for rejection, when in reality it was preservation. Heaven saw the conversations behind closed doors, the intentions hidden beneath the surface, the spiritual traps disguised as blessings. And now that same protective hand is resting on your life. You are not being held back because you are unworthy. You are being held back because something unworthy was trying to reach you. And your spirit, even in its exhaustion, recognizes this. Anointed One, your hesitation is holy. Your pause is prophetic. Your discomfort is divine intelligence. You are standing at the threshold of a supernatural wealth transfer, a breakthrough that has been forming behind the veil for far longer than you know. And the trap that rose against you was specifically designed to block that blessing. The enemy does not waste strategy on the ordinary. He assigns traps to the anointed. He tries to distort the timing of those whose futures threaten darkness. That is why you have felt unusual pressure, confusion, or emotional tugging. It is not weakness. It is warfare. And heaven has stepped in because the promise over your life carries too much weight to be compromised. Every no from God in this season is tied to a greater yes that is already unfolding. Your spirit senses what your mind cannot yet articulate. You are being prepared for a divine shift. Chosen one, You are not being delayed. You are being delivered. You are not being denied. You are being preserved. If you could see the full picture the way heaven sees it, you would fall to your knees in gratitude for the doors that refuse to open. I have learned that God's protection often feels like disappointment until revelation arrives. And when that revelation comes, everything suddenly makes sense. You will understand why something felt off. You will understand why peace left you when you tried to force your way. You will understand why your spirit kept whispering, "Wait, anointed." One heaven is safeguarding your destiny, because what is coming next in your life is not small, not ordinary, not familiar. It is divine, weighty, and strategically timed. And before you step into it, God is removing every counterfeit path so that nothing can contaminate the blessing He is preparing to place in your hands. Chosen one. Now that your spirit is awake to the protection of God, you must also understand the strategy of heaven in this season. You are not simply being shielded from danger, you are being aligned with destiny. Heaven redirects with purpose. Every delay you have felt, every unsettling moment you cannot explain, every sudden shift in relationships or opportunities is part of a larger orchestration. I have lived through moments where God rearranged my entire life overnight. People fell away, plans fell apart, paths dissolved. At the time, it felt like instability, but the truth revealed itself later. Heaven was clearing space, clearing distractions, clearing imitation blessings, and chosen one, that is exactly what is happening to you. God is making room for something weighty, something sacred, something that cannot coexist with what was trying to enter your life. Anointed one, there is a trap that was specifically designed with your patterns, your desires, and your vulnerabilities in mind. The enemy studied what once hurt you, what once tempted you, what once slowed your purpose, and he attempted to reintroduce it wearing a new face, a new opportunity, a new disguise. But your spirit recognized the vibration of danger. You felt the hesitation. You sensed the misalignment. That sensation is not fear. It is spiritual intelligence. It is the wisdom that only comes from having survived seasons that tried to break you. I remember times when I almost said yes to something that would have derailed everything God built in me. On the surface, it looked harmless, convenient, even God-sent. But deep inside, something whispered, no. Something felt heavy. Something felt borrowed, artificial, or intrusive. That voice saved me, and chosen one, that same voice is saving you now. Chosen one, heaven is not only blocking the trap, it is upgrading your discernment. You are being refined in real time. You are learning the difference between emotional desire and spiritual direction. You are learning to identify peace not by comfort, but by clarity. You are learning that the voice of God rarely screams. It gently unsettles. It quietly redirects. It interrupts patterns you would have repeated if your spirit had not awakened. Anointed one. This refinement is necessary because the next season of your destiny will require a sharper eye and a wiser heart. You cannot afford to trust every open door, every smiling face, every opportunity dressed in promise. Elevation demands discernment. Promotion requires pruning, and supernatural transfer requires a clear spirit. God is shaping you into someone who cannot be manipulated, deceived, or spiritually diluted by anything that does not carry His fingerprint. Anointed one. What many do not understand is that before God increases your influence, He tests your alignment. Before He releases resources, He examines your readiness. Before He opens financial favor, He removes anything that could corrupt your stewardship. I have been in places where provision increased before discernment did. and the result was loss, waste, distraction, and spiritual fatigue. But when discernment increases, first prosperity becomes sustainable, opportunity becomes protection instead of pressure, wealth becomes assignment instead of idol. Chosen one. This is why heaven is slowing your steps. You are being prepared to handle what you prayed for. You are being trained to recognize divine provision even when it arrives in unusual packaging. You are being shaped into a vessel that can carry more without being broken by it. What feels like restriction is actually preparation for expansion. Chosen one, embrace this truth with reverence. God is holding you back because He is setting you apart. You are not walking the path of the average. You are walking the path of the anointed. And that means not everything can have access to you. Not every voice can influence you. Not every opportunity can involve you. When heaven marks you for more, heaven also guards you from less. You may feel isolated, misunderstood, or separated in this season, but separation is often the first sign of elevation. You are being distinguished. You are being purified. You are being positioned for a breakthrough that will require clean hands and a clear spirit. Anointed one. The trap did not catch you. The delay did not destroy you. The confusion did not consume you. You are standing in the middle of divine preservation, and what God is preparing next will require everything in you to stay aligned, focused, surrendered, and ready. Chosen one. Now you must understand something deeper. Heaven has not only protected you from a trap, but it has also exposed a pattern that can no longer follow you into your next season. This is why certain people suddenly feel distant, why certain opportunities feel heavy, and why familiar environments no longer feel safe. Your spirit has outgrown what your emotions were still attached to. I have walked through seasons where God pulled me away from people I loved, places I trusted, and routines that once brought comfort. At first, it felt like loss, but later I saw that God was breaking cycles that would have sabotaged the future He was building in me. Anointed one. The same thing is happening in your life. Heaven is dismantling every pattern that once delayed you, drained you, or deceived you. Chosen one. The trap that was designed for you was not random, it was customized. The enemy knows he cannot touch what God has covered, but he can lure you into agreements that weaken you. Agreements with wrong people, wrong commitments, wrong expectations, wrong emotional attachments. This is why the counterfeit came wrapped in familiarity. It mimicked your past prayers. It mirrored your old needs. It appealed to your old wounds. But your spirit detected the imitation. You felt the shift in atmosphere. You felt the heaviness hidden under the surface. I have learned that the enemy does not fear your strength. He fears your clarity. When you see clearly, temptation loses its power. When you discern quickly, deception cannot take root. And chosen one. Your clarity is rising in this season stronger than ever before. Anointed one. There are moments in your journey when God removes peace from something you were about to pursue. Not to confuse you, but to protect you. Peace is heaven's confirmation, and the lack of peace is heaven's alarm. I have had opportunities that looked perfect, good money, good timing, good connections, but as soon as I stepped toward them, my peace dissolved like smoke. That feeling saved me. Later, truth unfolded, revealing betrayal, manipulation, hidden agendas, or spiritual darkness behind what seemed harmless. This is why you must trust the tension you feel, the hesitation, the unexplained discomfort. These are not emotional reactions, they are spiritual signals. Heaven is telling you that something underneath the surface is misaligned with your calling, your anointing, and your upcoming breakthrough. Chosen one. Your life is shifting into a higher dimension of purpose, which means not everyone from your past can follow you into your future. God separates before He elevates. He removes before He releases. Think of it this way. If God had allowed every person, every plan, and every offer to stay connected to you, they would have claimed credit for what He is about to do in your life. This next season carries a divine financial shift, a supernatural unlocking of resources, opportunities, and alignments that require spiritual purity and focused discernment. I know what it feels like to want companionship, validation, or support on the journey. But every time I tried to bring someone into a season, they were not spiritually matured, for the weight became too heavy, the vision became blurry, and the journey became draining. Anointed One, Heaven is preventing that for you. God is ensuring that only those who are aligned, assigned, and refined will walk beside you. Anointed One, embrace the truth that your protection is proof of your purpose. Heaven is not silent in your life. Heaven is strategic. You are being held back from what is beneath you so you can rise into what is destined for you. You may feel like you're standing still, but in the spirit realm, everything around you is being rearranged. Connections are shifting. Opportunities are repositioning. Resources are aligning. You are being prepared for a moment where the blessing will outweigh the battle, where the provision will outrun the struggle, and where the clarity will silence every confusion. Chosen one, stand firm, lean in, pay attention. Heaven is not only protecting you from the wrong trap, it is guiding you toward the right door, the right people, the right provision, and the right supernatural transfer that has your name written upon it. Chosen one. Now heaven invites you to look deeper into the spiritual architecture of this season. What you are experiencing is not random resistance or emotional turbulence. It is a divine restructuring of your destiny. God is not only protecting you from what was meant to harm you, but He is also positioning you for what is meant to elevate you. There are moments in the life of every anointed vessel when God interrupts every familiar rhythm, not because something is wrong, but because something greater is coming. I remember seasons when everything around me felt unsettled, when routines broke, connections shifted, and nothing seemed to fit anymore. It felt like confusion, but it was actually transition. It was heaven rearranging my path so I could step into something I did not even know how to pray for. Chosen. One, that is what you are stepping into right now, a silent divine rearrangement. Anointed. One, understand this: the enemy studies patterns, but God disrupts them. The attack that was forming against you was built upon your familiarity, familiar desires, familiar wounds, familiar habits. But heaven has disrupted every point of access that darkness once used to pull you into cycles of delay. This is why certain temptations do not appeal to you the way they used to. This is why old emotional triggers no longer have the same power. This is why people who once influenced your decisions cannot reach your spirit anymore. Something in you has matured. Something in you has awakened. Something in you has burned away. When God elevates your discernment, the enemy loses his map. I have been in moments where I felt my own spirit shift without warning, where things I once tolerated suddenly became unbearable. That shift was not change, it was deliverance. And chosen one, you are undergoing the same deliverance now. Chosen one, heaven is also purifying the motives of your heart, because the blessing assigned to you requires a foundation that cannot be shaken by flattery, deception, or premature elevation. There were times in my own journey when God withheld opportunities simply because my heart was not yet ready to hold them without being harmed by them. Blessings can become burdens when received out of season. Influence can become poison when held with the wrong partnerships. Wealth can become a trap when attached to the wrong environment. That is why God is pruning your desires in this hour. He is refining your intentions. He is removing the need for validation and replacing it with divine confidence. You are learning to distinguish between desire and destiny. You are no longer chasing what looks good. You are waiting for what is God. Anointed One, this refinement is not punishment. It is preparation for supernatural responsibility. Anointed One, consider this. Your next elevation will attract attention, spiritual resistance, and unfamiliar territory. Heaven must ensure you are spiritually grounded before you enter it. The trap set against you was meant to disarm you emotionally so you would enter the next chapter weak, wounded, or distracted. But heaven intervened. You may have felt shifts that made no sense, delays that frustrated you, or red flags that appeared suddenly. These were not interruptions, they were divine shields. I have witnessed God step into my life in the most subtle ways, closing doors with gentle finality and removing people with quiet urgency. At first, I questioned these shifts. But later, I realized God was protecting the version of me that was still developing. He was ensuring that when elevation arrived, I would stand in it fully, not fractured. Chosen One, heaven is giving you the same grace. You are being secured before you are lifted. Chosen One, embrace the magnitude of what is coming. You are not simply being prepared for survival, you are being prepared for stewardship. You are being shaped for influence, positioned for impact, and aligned for divine provision. The enemy released a counterfeit to distract you from the authenticity that heaven is preparing. But you did not fall for the imitation. You felt the hesitation. You sensed the spiritual imbalance. You recognized the misalignment, and heaven rewarded your obedience with protection. Now God is drawing you into deeper clarity, deeper wisdom, and deeper revelation. Because the next door you walk through will not be ordinary. It will be strategic. It will be supernatural. It will be connected to your assignment and your financial elevation. Anointed One, trust this season of separation. Trust the divine tension. Trust the unexplainable restlessness. It is all evidence that heaven is guiding you into a chapter where the blessing will match the weight of your calling. Chosen One. Now you are entering the part of your journey where heaven begins to reveal why the trap was permitted to form in the first place. God never allows the enemy to craft a trap without using it to train you, strengthen you, or elevate your discernment. In every season of my life where I faced deception, confusion, or sudden spiritual attacks, I later realized that the confrontation itself was a classroom. It taught me what peace really feels like. It taught me the difference between emotional desire and spiritual alignment. It taught me how to trust the whisper of God over the appearance of opportunity. Anointed One. The trap you escaped has sharpened you. You see more clearly now. You sense earlier. You withdraw faster. You trust deeper. What once fooled you cannot fool you again. Heaven used what was meant to destroy you as material to rebuild you. Anointed One. Heaven is calling you into the maturity of discernment, because the next chapter of your life requires a different version of you, one who can see through flattery, withstand emotional manipulation, and recognize disguised danger long before it reaches you. I remember times when I thought I had mastered discernment, only to discover that elevation requires a new layer of spiritual intelligence. Each promotion demanded deeper awareness. Each blessing required stronger boundaries. Each financial breakthrough required clearer vision. The enemy knows this pattern. That is why he tried to lure you back into environments that once clouded your spirit, environments that diluted your intuition, people who questioned your calling, opportunities that appealed to your flesh but weakened your purpose. But now, chosen one, you are awakening, you are rising, you are seeing beyond the surface, and heaven is proud of you for not stepping into what was designed to shrink your destiny. Chosen one of the most powerful things God does in seasons like this is reveal the condition of your own heart, not to condemn you, but to elevate you. I have had moments when God showed me why I was drawn to the wrong opportunities, why I tolerated the wrong people, or why I ignored warnings that were obvious in hindsight. It was never because I lacked intelligence. It was because I had unhealed places that longed for validation, comfort, or approval. When God heals those places, the trap loses its power. You no longer choose from emptiness. You choose from abundance. You no longer chase attachment. You choose alignment. You no longer settle for what looks good. You wait for what is ordained. Anointed One this season is healing you on a level you did not even know needed attention. You are being refined, not rejected. You are being prepared, not punished. Heaven is strengthening your inner foundation so that when the blessing arrives, it finds you whole, steady, and unshakable. Anointed One. This is also a season where God is teaching you how to differentiate between spiritual warfare and divine redirection. Many times in my own life, I mistook God's protection for the enemy's attack. I thought the closed door was spiritual warfare, but it was actually divine mercy. I thought the delay was resistance, but it was preparation. I thought the separation was betrayal, but it was pruning. You must discern the difference, chosen one. Not every discomfort is the enemy. Sometimes heaven removes your peace from a situation so you will not marry a mistake. Sometimes God lets a conversation reveal someone's true intentions so your heart will not bond with a counterfeit. Sometimes God blocks what you want because what you want is too small for the magnitude of your calling. This is not God withholding from you. This is God positioning you for something that will carry you further than your current understanding can imagine. Chosen One, take a breath and recognize the beauty of what heaven is constructing around you. God is not simply protecting you from the wrong path. He is ushering you toward the right one. Doors are being aligned. People are being positioned. Resources are being gathered. You are closer to breakthrough than you think. The financial shift you have been sensing is not fantasy, it is formation. The elevation you feel in your spirit is not imagination, it is confirmation. The restlessness that keeps stirring inside you is not anxiety, it is birthing. God is preparing you to walk into a moment where everything that once seemed delayed suddenly accelerates. Opportunities will appear that carry peace instead of pressure. Connections will form without confusion or compromise. Provision will flow with clarity and purpose. Anointed One, trust this journey. Trust the divine pauses. Trust the protection. Heaven is not only saving you from the trap, it is preparing you for the greatness that comes after it.
Chosen One, this season marks the beginning of a higher spiritual intelligence awakening within you. You may not fully see it yet, but heaven has been enlarging your inner capacity, stretching your discernment, and sharpening your spiritual senses. The same situations that once confused you now appear transparent. The same temptations that once pulled you now feel powerless.
I have walked through seasons where I did not realize how much I'd grown until an old pattern tried to return and found no access to me anymore. That is where you stand now, Anointed One. You are not who you were even 6 months ago. Heaven has shifted your internal landscape, and now the enemy's tactics no longer find the weaknesses they once relied on. Anointed. One part of this divine transition involves learning to trust God's timing, even when His methods feel uncomfortable. I remember times when God removed options so suddenly that I felt stranded, unaware that the removal itself was transportation. The path I thought was falling apart was actually falling into place. That is happening in your life now. Heaven is not only protecting you from a trap, Heaven is pulling you toward a divine appointment that requires you to travel light. Old attachments cannot follow. Old fears cannot operate. Old versions of you cannot survive in the elevation ahead. This detachment feels painful at moments, but it is purifying you, refining you, preparing you for a level of blessing that requires spiritual clarity, not emotional clutter. Chosen One. God is also teaching you how to trust spiritual alignment over emotional urgency. There were times in my own journey when I rushed into decisions because my feelings were loud, even though my spirit whispered wait. Every rushed decision cost me peace. Every forced door led to frustration. Every premature commitment left me spiritually depleted. But the choices I made in alignment, those guided by clarity, stillness, and God's timing, brought breakthrough provision and undeniable favor. This is the shift occurring within you now. You are learning to recognize the difference between a door that is available and a door that is assigned. You are learning that not every opportunity is divine and that true blessings never require you to sacrifice your peace. Anointed One Heaven is also restructuring the way you see yourself. Before great elevation comes, God must remove every belief that tells you you are unworthy of what He is preparing. I know this battle well. There were seasons where I carried prophetic calling yet doubted my own capacity. But as God removed the wrong people and wrong environments from my life, my identity began to solidify. I discovered a confidence that was not rooted in ego, but in divine assignment. That is what God is igniting within you now. You are being reminded of who you truly are, a vessel chosen, refined, preserved, and appointed for a purpose that outweighs every attack that has ever come against you. The enemy tried to trap you because he knew what you were about to walk into. Heaven protected you because God knows who you are becoming. Chosen One. As this transformation unfolds within you, something greater is unfolding around you. The supernatural provision you have been sensing in your spirit is not distant. It is drawing nearer with every step of obedience you take. Every moment you resisted the counterfeit, every time you trusted the divine pause, every time you surrendered what felt familiar, you aligned yourself with the blessing heaven prepared. God is not only strengthening you, He is positioning you. The environment, connections, and opportunities of your next chapter are already forming. You are standing at the threshold of a divine shift, one that will reveal why every delay was necessary and every redirection was mercy. Anointed One, take heart. You are not walking toward blessing, you are walking into it. Chosen One, as you move deeper into this divine unfolding heaven, is calling you to recognize the authority that has been placed upon your life. You have endured battles that others never saw. You have walked through storms that would have broken people who were not spiritually fortified the way you are. This is why the trap set against you was so strategic, because the enemy knew that if you survived this stage, you would emerge with a level of clarity, strength, and spiritual maturity that could no longer be manipulated. I have lived through seasons where I underestimated the weight of my own calling until I saw how fiercely the enemy fought to sabotage it. And the same is true for you, Anointed One. Your warfare reveals your worth. Anointed One, heaven is also teaching you that discernment must become a lifestyle, not a temporary posture. In previous seasons, you may have relied on discernment only in moments of crisis. But now, God is requiring you to walk in discernment daily, to trust your spiritual senses even when nothing external confirms what you feel. I remember moments when everything in the natural looked promising, yet my spirit felt a quiet resistance, a subtle warning. When I listened, I was protected. When I ignored it, I paid a price. This is the maturation God is birthing within you, an unshakable reliance on the voice of the Spirit rather than the appearance of circumstances. You are learning to trust the unseen more than the seen. That is the mark of an elevated vessel. Chosen One, your separation in this season is not only for protection, it is for revelation. When God isolates you, He is not punishing you, He is speaking to you. There were times in my own life when God removed the noise around me because the noise inside me needed clarity. I could not hear heaven while surrounded by voices that diluted truth. And you, Anointed One, are being brought into that same sacred quiet. In this quiet, you will hear instructions you could not have heard in a crowded season. You will recognize the difference between your desires and God's direction. You will see the connections that were meant for you and the ones that were meant to distract you. God is not distancing you from people. He is drawing you closer to purpose. Anointed One, understand this. Every divine elevation demands a divine testing of motives. Before God releases the next level of provision, influence, or spiritual authority, He examines the intentions of your heart. There were times in my journey where God tested me through opportunity. Would I choose what looked good or what aligned with His will? Would I pursue status or stewardship? Would I chase validation or walk in purpose? These tests revealed who I truly was and who I was becoming. You are undergoing the same refinement. The doors that closed were not punishment, they were assessments. The relationships that dissolved were not losses, they were evaluations. God is ensuring that your next season is not built upon insecurity, desperation, or emotional dependency. It will be built upon clarity, strength, and spiritual maturity. Chosen One. As heaven completes this refinement within you, something extraordinary begins to unfold around you. You are transitioning from a season of being protected to a season of being positioned. The blessing that once felt distant is now drawing close. Opportunities you thought were lost will resurface in better form. Resources that were withheld will be released. Alignments that were delayed will be expedited. God is not simply restoring you, He is accelerating you. Every spiritual battle, every moment of hesitation, every divine pause has prepared you for this acceleration. You are stepping into a chapter where what took years will happen in months, and what once seemed impossible will become undeniable. Anointed One, the trap did not triumph. The delay did not defeat you. Heaven has secured you for a destiny that is now unfolding with precision and divine timing. Chosen One. As you stand at this final threshold of revelation, heaven is inviting you into a deeper awareness of what your survival truly means. You have not simply escaped a trap, you have graduated from a spiritual dimension that once held you back. Every moment of confusion you endured, every delay that frustrated you, every whisper of hesitation you felt, was evidence that heaven's hand was actively reshaping your path. I have walked through seasons where I thought I was losing ground, only to discover later that I was being hidden, refined, and strengthened for a future far greater than I imagined. That is your reality now. You are stepping into a version of yourself that the enemy hoped you would never become: clear-minded, spiritually awakened, emotionally grounded, and prophetically aligned. Anointed One. This next season will require you to see yourself through heaven's eyes, not through the lens of past limitations. The trap designed to ensnare you was meant to resurrect old insecurities, old fears, and old identities that no longer belong to you. But the fact that you recognized the misalignment, sensed the danger, and avoided the counterfeit proves that you have evolved. I remember when God first taught me that discernment is not just the ability to recognize danger, it is the capacity to recognize dignity. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer accept what insults your spirit. You no longer negotiate with what drains your peace. You no longer chase what God is blocking. And now, chosen one, you are entering a chapter where your standards are rising because your spirit has risen. You are no longer available to what diminishes you. Heaven has matured you beyond that. Chosen one. This elevation will not be quiet. It will manifest in ways that impact your finances, relationships, environment, and spiritual authority. You will begin to notice opportunities that align with your purpose instead of distracting you from it. People who carry clarity instead of confusion will appear. Resources that once felt out of reach will begin to locate you. This is not coincidence. It is divine compensation. There were seasons where you sowed in tears, where you gave without receiving, where you held on even when everything in you felt weak. Heaven remembers every moment of obedience, every act of faith, every time you resisted what was beneath you. I have seen God move suddenly in my own life, moments where years of waiting collapsed into a single breakthrough, moments where clarity replaced chaos overnight. That same sudden shift is approaching your life. You're not waiting on the blessing has already begun moving toward you. Anointed One, you must also understand that elevation requires new boundaries. God is removing access from people who cannot walk with you into this next level. Not out of cruelty, but out of protection. There were individuals in my life who I genuinely loved, but God removed them because their presence would have contaminated my clarity and decreased my capacity to grow. At the time, I fought the separation. Only later did I realize it was essential. You are experiencing something similar now. Heaven is filtering your connections, removing those who drain your spirit, silence your intuition, or pull you away from your assignment. You may feel lonely for a moment, but that loneliness is actually sacred alignment. It is God clearing the atmosphere around you so that only those who carry purpose, purity, and prophetic significance will stand beside you in the season ahead. Chosen One, now comes the part that heaven has been preparing you for. You are stepping into a supernatural transition where what was withheld will now be released, what was delayed will now be delivered, and what was unclear will now be illuminated. Every restriction was preparation, every redirection was strategy, every spiritual battle was training. You are not simply being blessed, you are being positioned to steward something bigger than yourself. A financial shift is aligning, a divine assignment is awakening, a new identity is emerging. I have lived through moments when God shifted my entire life in a single unexpected season. And though I did not see it coming, every previous moment suddenly made sense. That will happen for you, Anointed One. The puzzle pieces are about to connect. The path is about to straighten. The promise is about to manifest. You have been protected, preserved, purified, and prepared. Now you will be promoted. Heaven is opening a chapter where nothing will be wasted, nothing will be stolen, and nothing will be missed. Chosen one, you are stepping into destiny with the full weight of heaven behind you. Chosen one. As this message comes to an end, let your spirit receive the fullness of what heaven has spoken over you. You are not walking away from this word the same. You are walking away, covered, awakened, and positioned under divine protection. God has been holding you back, not to punish you, but to preserve you for a moment that has finally arrived. A supernatural transfer, a divine alignment, a holy elevation is already unfolding in the unseen, and your spirit can feel the shift. Anointed One. This is your Kairos moment. Heaven has stepped into your path with precision, clearing every trap, exposing every counterfeit, and redirecting your steps toward purpose. You have been shielded because what is coming carries weight, authority, and blessing. Move forward now with confidence, with discernment, with expectation. The same God who warned you is the God who will guide you into the blessing designed for your name. May your eyes be sharpened, your spirit strengthened, and your path illuminated. May every blessing assigned to you rush into alignment. May favor pursue you, protection surround you, and peace settle deeply into your home. You are chosen, you are guided, you are rising into the destiny heaven has written for you since the beginning. If this message confirmed what your spirit already knew, you may share it, comment, or stay connected so you never miss what heaven pours out next. But above all, remain faithful, remain aligned, and remain expectant. Chosen One, step boldly. Your divine transition has already begun.